Hey guys, welcome to the Hangout. I don't know if anybody's going to join, but this is the first stream on my new streaming channel since my main channel got a copyright, since it got a community strike, and I can't stream till November. So this is my new streaming only channel. Hopefully this one doesn't get hit. Right now we have Tristan Blaze, Eisenwolf.
Hello.
How are you two doing?
Doing well.
And we also have FoxDie.
Hey.
Who I actually only discovered today because I was watching Suit Yourself, and that's how I found you. So, but I was looking at your stuff and pretty interesting. So, I like the ranting and everything else. So,
once in a while, you just gotta go full redneck for YouTube.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's just like ranting is the best way to do it, and those are the easiest ones because you don't even have to freaking edit them.
Yeah, that, and I'm still trying to get Legendary Low. I haven't even started on the new Legendary Locals episode. People are actually beating the door down now for it. And I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about my own series.
Let's see, who is the current locale? I can't even.
The one that I'm going to talk about next is definitely Antifa because they are just so easy to just milk for like days.
Yeah, and they get triggered about everything so freaking easily.
I mean, if you go anything right of Stalin, like I said in the last video, you'll piss them off. So I mean,
okay, honestly though, like, American Antifa are fucking nothing compared to the Europeans. Like, well, those guys,
you're given time.
No, but those guys, when they had like 10,000, did you see that at the protests and stuff where they're having them? They had like 10,000 of them, and they're all dressed the same, and they're all like,
yeah,
you know, they're all like Eminem.
Ours are mostly just really lazy college kids that are upset that they've gotten so much debt.
Well, it's like Eminem on the Music Awards when he had like 200 guys with bleached hair and white shirts and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, the guys in Europe, like when what's her name when Lauren Southern got attacked and stuff, those guys are insane. Like, those Antifa are the ones that will really fuck you over, but the ones here, no.
What's kind of funny is it's switched. Like the like legitimate fascists, neo-Nazis here are typically very in shape, like ex-military people, by and large. There's a lot of people like Richard Spencer himself who, you know, doesn't look like he's athletic whatsoever. But in general, it's like really in shape, really fit, really organized individuals. But in Europe, it's mostly like people that are like, oh, it's treating me. I think Hitler was better.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's just switched. I mean, Antifa is the same. It's like the paramilitary, in shape, crazy people. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but at least Antifa doesn't have their own haircut.
Although I refuse to submit to that haircut to the fascists. That is a traditional American haircut. I have one, and I will never get rid of it, no matter how many Nazis there are.
I don't understand how somebody could go full 1488 though. That's just, I mean, you know, because I've basically gotten to a point where I'm so fed up with the right and the left. I'm telling people I'm just like, fucking, I'm alt-right. I don't even know what it is, but I'll just go with it because I haven't tried it yet, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I mean,
yeah. The one question that I got to ask to like all the 1488 supremacists: what do you do about hot Asian girls?
They give them a pass. They give them an Asian pass or something weird.
Well,
I don't know.
The funny thing is, you know what Richard Spencer did? He posted his 23andMe results. You know, the where you find out your heritage and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's only 99.5% pure. So, so people, I bet you that people will go after him for that, though. I bet you any money.
Yeah, it's like not 100%.
He's 0.2% African.
Well, I'm part French Canadian, so I'm assuming there's some native in there, probably.
But I'm not gonna go on 23andMe and pay for that fucking thing.
There was a guy I saw on a TV show once that was he was like about as far 1488 as you could imagine. I mean, this dude was like straight up Daily Stormer, and they fucking gave him like the genetics test, and it turned out he's like 5% black or some shit. Yeah, I'm not sure. He like straight up went full Luke Skywalker on national TV.
Was this guy that said oil and water don't mix?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
he was like he was like 51% sub-Saharan African DNA.
Yeah.
The dude was more black than white technically.
That shit was funny as hell. He got mad as a motherfucker.
Yeah. So I just posted a link again. See what it is. Okay. So what's been happening? I know your channel's a lot bigger, so it probably affects you more there, Fox. But so what's been happening with the whole Google thing? You want to let everybody know?
I'm going to tell you something, and I said it last night on Twitter, and I mean, because sometimes people are like, you just do shit for views, right? Because, you know, I do have, as you said, a slightly bigger channel, which I don't think of it like that, but realistically, you know, I've looked at my analytics last night, I'm like, I haven't made over $7 in like almost 6 months. So
well, yeah,
who gives a fuck at this point?
Yeah, you know what's funny? For the last 4 or 5 months, my AdSense was sitting at like $93, right? And you know how you have to hit $100 for that threshold?
Mm-hmm.
So it was sitting there for like 5 months, and then last month it looked like I was gonna make like $30-40, and I was like, oh good. And then like a week before the money's supposed to come out or whatever, it starts going down and down and down. And I'm like, are you guys doing this on purpose now? Like, what the hell's going on? I finally did get that money, but it's only, you know, so I finally got my first 100 off YouTube, but that'll probably be my last 100.
Honestly, probably so, because I mean, like, I went from, I think it was February to March, it was $180 for ad revenue. And then after that, it went to $7, and last month I made $3 whole. Awesome. not even enough for a shake at Burger King.
Yeah, but it sat there for like 4 or 5 months where they transferred nothing.
Yeah, I know. Like, it would take me a couple years just to get one fucking check from Google now.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. So it's just like with the VidMe thing, once I get verified, it'll be better, because when you're not verified, you can't put your videos into a category.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's where I know. Well, that's where the problem comes in. Because you just can't do anything with it. And then your stuff won't get as noticed. Once I get verified, I'm sure it'll take off because people will notice it. Like, you know, and because it's getting big now, the platform. If you click on creators and you see how many new people get verified like every day on there. You know.
Well, it'll take some time, because you got a company that only has like 12 people working there, so it's not like it's a big conglomeration or something that has bots yet to actually just auto verify people and all that. They probably got to manually do the shit.
All right, so let's talk about that whole you know, Google Plus and YouTube thing. Like, what's happening with the limited ads thing and the whole blacklist.
The blacklist I've not been hit by yet. I haven't really had much demonetized. It's just the fact that my stuff doesn't go to my subscribers box, and it also doesn't really come up in search unless I really just, you know, hit gold and the stars align and God loves me on one day, which he usually doesn't. And just all sorts of stuff. And, you know, when it comes to the Google Plus thing, I basically tried to share a VidMe thing. Now I might, you know, try to dig into this further by getting somebody to take my VidMe exclusive and try to put it on their Google Plus and see if it does the same thing.
Right.
But I didn't do that yet.
Well, I emailed Mr. Repsion, and I wonder if he's gonna like freak out in a video soon or not.
He probably will. So what ended up happening was I tried to share something on on Google Plus, and it basically said, you violated terms of Google Plus, and if you keep fucking up, we're gonna delete all your Google stuff. And I'm just like, how in the fuck, you know, did I violate Google Plus? I never go on Google Plus. Literally the only thing that ever goes on Google Plus is like when a video goes out, because it's like an automatic thing, you know. And who the fuck looks at Google Plus? Nobody.
Well, look at this. This doesn't make sense. Because, okay, this is Repsion's thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at it, it hasn't really affected him that much because he had enough Plus subscribers or Plus views to offset it. But if you look at it, the 14th, all of a sudden there's none when he's getting like 10,000 plus every day. And then all of a sudden there's one day where there's none. And then the next day it's minus 62,000.
You know, that can come from you deleting a video, though.
Yeah, but I looked at it. The problem is the video that they flagged on mine, they gave me a strike and took it down, right? That video only had 2,500, and I lost 7,000. That's where the issue comes in. I'm trying to
Well,
figure
at the same time, you can't really trust Social Blade either, because Social Blade isn't exactly the most accurate site out there.
No, so but it's happening.
Because Social Blade gave me plus 50,000 views one day, and I looked at my analytics. I'm like, "There's no fucking way."
Yeah, but when it's happening on this scale with this many people, like, you know, when it's saying like the whole minus views thing, like subs is one thing, but the negative views, I don't know. So I've asked YouTube. Maybe YouTube will look into it and give us some answers. I don't know. That's what I'm hoping.
They'll usually send you some type of generic platitude of, you know, we're on it, and then you never hear nothing again, and then they never fix it.
Well, actually, Team YouTube on Twitter is actually pretty good. I've emailed tech support a few times too, and I've gotten responses back. It is pretty generic. It's usually like what they said on Twitter was like, "Oh, you can challenge it." I'm like, "No, I can't."
I've found that anytime a video goes into like not advertiser friendly, you're better off if it's early, just delete it and re-upload it, and you'll be fine most of the time.
Not with this limited ads thing though, because if it is a blacklist, no matter what you upload, it's not going to matter. You know what I mean? You can re-upload it.
At that point, just fucking make a bunch of videos. Go to VidMe. Fuck everybody. Yeah. Fuck Google. Go to VidMe.
Well, I do. I've got that at the end of my video now.
Push really hard. I'm
like, fucking I'm not monetized. At the end of every video, I have it say, "I'm not monetized anymore, so come follow me on Minds and VidMe," because that's the only way that, you know. No, I am going to start doing that, and I'm going to make sure to push like VidMe exclusive content, right?
Well, that's the thing. Most of my YouTube stuff gets like 0 views on VidMe, but as soon as I said I have an exclusive episode, it got 150 views on VidMe.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean,
what you do is you post a video with like 10 seconds of that video on YouTube, and you say, if you want to see the rest of this, you got to go over to VidMe.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
Yeah. You say, this is a preview. If you want to see the whole thing, you know. Because like, that's the way we're going to do it, is if mass, we all start doing that. You know, putting most of our stuff on VidMe, because YouTube's going to realize how much the creators actually mean to their website.
No, they won't.
You don't think so?
No.
If they leave in mass?
I'm sorry, they probably won't. We're talking about Google here. They don't even know that. They probably don't even know most creators exist. I mean, fuck, they have issues that have been going since 2012. I don't even think Google looks at YouTube. I think the only time they even look at the site is, oh shit, something's fucked, you know, we're losing money basically, because the bots take care of everything else. And everybody out there that's trying to say, oh my God, Google has a person behind it. Google has always, since they bought YouTube, had fucking bots doing all of the moderation shit on YouTube. There's never been a human component.
Yeah. Have you seen this yet?
March on Google canceled? Really?
Yeah. Alt-left threats.
I'm sure that there's threats all the way up to like bomb threats. I'm sure.
You see the article that Lamont put out?
No, not yet.
I pushed that fucking March so hard on my show, and I really just kept bringing it up, and now it's just not going to happen, I guess.
Look at that line that it said. Look at this trolling that someone did. Oh, threats from all left groups, including one to drive an automobile into the demonstration. That was a troll, obviously. Come on. I know these days they kind of have to. I know these days they kind of have to take it seriously, but the alt-left threatening to drive a car into your protest, do you not get the irony of that, what they're trying to make fun of?
I thought that said alt-right.
No, it's alt-left.
Okay.
No, it's left.
But that's why I'm saying that's what's funny about the alt-left threatening.
Fuck them, bring a shotgun.
some alt-left troll or whatever contacted those say I'm going to drive a car in there because it's just a parody of what happened. It's like, how are you guys so dumb? How is the people at Google, who are supposed to be this big modern internet company, not understand what trolling is?
So you're telling me that after a fucking crash of a car that killed what? Two people? One person and injured how many? What, 19 or some shit? I saw 6 people get hit, but I don't know.
There was a bunch, yeah.
Anyway, whatever a number, it was only one person died. They have one troll say something like that, and they shut down an entire nationwide, like, fucking march. I swear, whoever's running that march is a fucking cuck. Just saying. He really is. He is just a fucking pussy. Just for, like, you know, shutting it down for that.
Well, it's not one. It's like it was multiple Google locations across the country.
That's what the cops are for. They're the ones that stop shit like that from happening.
Well, if they keep getting ordered to stand down mixed with a state of emergency, then people are going to get killed again at any rally. Like,
yeah.
The government handled it the worst they could have possibly handled it. Like, Nazis are marching. That's bad. Cops declaring that it's a state of emergency, pushing them out of the park, and then standing down for 2 hours. People are going to die.
This is pretty hilarious, though. They said, despite our clear and straightforward statements denouncing bigotry and hate, this sounds like the president. Despite our statements denouncing bigotry and hatred, CNN and other MSM outlets made malicious and false statements that our peaceful march was being organized by Nazi sympathizers.
What?
It's like, yeah, that's because you're acting like Nazis at Google.
Did you see where Trump actually came out and actually said something worth a shit about the thing in Charlottesville finally, and at least, you know, said the right thing finally?
Everybody hates it now, though. Everybody's jumping on the bandwagon now and fucking saying, hey, you know what? Trump's to blame for all this stuff. And like countless posts on Twitter saying that Trump is responsible. Like even Michael Moore, who had this giant protest down at Trump Tower. Did you hear about that one?
Yeah, I heard about that one. Of course, nobody's going to say anything bad about it, but they're mad at Trump.
I did.
Good.
I made a 20-minute video. Okay.
This just popped up.
What's that?
Okay, if you were to just hear somebody is sent straight white men or what would you believe that person is?
Hold on, you were roboting really bad.
You would probably believe they're like a 1488er, right?
What did they say?
Yeah, we all missed it because you were kind of
justice educator explained to Jews at the Beth Hawkticus synagogue how their white privilege feeds into a village and they have to end their Jewish privilege. And they used a flyer that said, is the top 1% white or Jewish? And they linked pewresearch.org, which is a rather right-wing think tank, I believe.
Yeah, it sounds like an SJW actually accidentally went into 1488 territory and didn't realize it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they linked Pew Research, which I think is pretty right-wing.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this and I'm like, because it literally says, like, the top 1%, they're all Jewish stars, and then, like, the big part of the pyramid, it goes, Goyim, not to scale.
Well, here's the thing. If I worked at Google, I'd be too afraid to go to that fucking anti-Google protest anyway, because you know that any employee that shows up there will get added to their blacklist that they have at Google's headquarters.
Well, it's not just, like, all tech at this point.
No, but what I'm saying is Google has a specific list of people that are problematic in their opinion.
I'm going to be straight up with you. Dell does the same shit Google does. I was actually there, and they did that shit to me, blacklisted me.
Yep. And it's fine. I get it. Like, I think that if they had said like, we're firing him because he leaked an internal memo out to the internet, then I could understand it, right? Yeah. If that was why they fired him, that would be fine. But to sit there and go, oh, he perpetrated wrong ideas, it's wrong think. Yep, he perpetrated wrong think, so we're gonna fire the guy. You know.
He has a huge lawsuit on his hands that he could just hand right over to him and get a lot of money out of that.
Oh, the a bunch of victims who got hit by that car are suing like 30 people who were on the alt-right and everything at that event.
I would sue Virginia. I would sue the state of Virginia.
They are, but they're also suing like they're also suing Richard Spencer and Jason Kessler and David Duke and the other neo-Nazi groups that were there. Just like, yeah.
Did you see the whole? Speaking of the car again, Did you see the whole conspiracy theory that like the guy that drove it is not the same guy that was arrested?
Oh, come on.
That was on poll. Yeah, I saw that when they were talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the pictures have been tampered with, but it's definitely not the same guy in the picture that's arrested. It doesn't even look close to the same guy, but it's probably a tampered picture, so I have no clue.
So, yeah, so apparently they're suing. There's two people that are suing Fields as well as like David Duke, Richard Spencer, Jason Kessler, all those people. So, which is what they should anyway, right? So these people are trying to say that they weren't involved with any events at the rally. They were simply in their car and trying to drive home and waiting for pedestrians to get out of the way. So these are the guys that got hit by the car, like the guys that were in the other car, right?
Oh, okay. People, okay.
What? They're suing $3 million for assault and battery, civil conspiracy, and negligence. Civil conspiracy, that's the interesting one. That would require a lot of proof, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're putting a lot of strain on that last one.
Jesus Christ! And Chris Brown just said, "I tasted blood when I beat Rihanna." What? Fuck you, Chris Brown. Anyway.
Of course, the left are never going to say shit about that.
Nope. And Rick, it's sad, but Ric Flair is dying apparently. So. Oh my God! I'm on TMZ and there's all kinds of sad news. So Ric Flair has organ failure, so he's in trouble. And the dad from Home Alone is dead now.
Wow.
I know.
That's great.
So sad
as hell.
I don't think that guy was in anything else, but I'm just saying.
He was in Law and Order a lot actually, and he was also in The Sopranos.
John Hurd. Yep.
Yeah, the dad from Home Alone was.
Yeah, what a year. It's like, okay, so this Trump stuff right now, where they're like, impeach Trump, everything else. Do they realize that Pence would be way worse? You think Trump's a racist? Wait till Pence got in there.
Oh, they do, just so we can get Pence in there, because they'll be funny as shit.
I know. Well, I don't think
though. He's like wishy-washy. Like sometimes it's like if you look at like certain sites and you look at some of the things he says, he's like a super racist, super anti-gay, ridiculous like extremist. And then other times he's like, yeah, you know, everything I do is pretty much just to appease Democrats.
Well, you watch how little Trump does public speaking engagements in the next little while because of all the shit, how it's escalating and escalating. You know that Secret Service is stepping up their security big time, probably.
Oh yeah.
I hope they are at least, because this is craziness.
The thing is, everyone's worried about a police state, basically, and you have the neo-Nazi guys on the right and the Antifa people on the left.
Yeah,
they're basically going to start rioting to the point where you're going to need a police state just to keep basic law and order.
Yeah, well, I think like if anything else had gone down in that city, like in Charlottesville, like Trump should have. Because at that point you don't have a choice when it's that crazy. But like, there's a whole. What's good about this? What's funny about it though is that it's letting black people like Black Lives Matter are missing this whole thing where this cop in Ohio just beat the shit out of this black guy, and you barely heard anything about it, except for the Ohio branch of Black Lives Matter. And it's a pretty. I was watching the video and it's pretty terrible, but at the same time, I don't know. There's probably more to the story. You know what I mean?
You know, that makes me actually think about something when you just said the Black Lives Matter thing. The fact that they get, do you know how many of them get killed by just getting in the road like idiots and then someone's flying down the highway 60 miles an hour and they're just out there protesting and get slammed into it shit. I mean, I've seen so many videos of Black Lives Matter getting hit by cars, but you never see it on the news until this big evil racist Nazi fucking does the thing, you know.
Well, that's why they're now trying to pass a bill.
Oh my God!
No, to protect drivers who end up hitting people who are standing in the middle of the fucking road.
Yeah.
That would be a good damn law because all these fucking protesters won't get out of the fucking road. When you protest, aren't you supposed to have some type of barricade up or the roads blocked off or something?
Well, you're just not supposed to go in the road in general. That's illegal.
Yeah.
It always has
like
been.
the night after Charlottesville, right? They had a protest. They had the solidarity protest in Atlanta, and they're like, "We're one of the things on Periscope." The title was, "We're taking over the highway now." I'm like, and the cops are just sitting there on their motorbikes or whatever, not doing shit, and I'm just like, "What the fuck? Clear the roads. That's your job, you know."
The cops are being ordered, and they're being given commands that are very, weird. It's like, do like extreme police violence for like 2 seconds, and then just stand down and let people beat the crap out of each other for another like hour, and then like be extreme riot police again for 2 seconds.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Like the thing at the park, like they did deem it unconstitutional, and I don't agree with the way they handled it. Where the judge 2 days beforehand had said, "Yep, you can go ahead and do it in Lee Park after all."
ACLU was saying they have every right to be there and do what they did.
Well, they did,
yeah.
but
Have you been seeing the tweets going at the ACLU? People are like, "Give me my money back."
Well, the thing is,
canceling my subscription.
The mayor wasn't the mayor or whatever, the vice mayor guy who's not there anymore, but he wasn't trying to silence them and stop them from protesting. He was just trying to move them to a different park.
Yeah, that was fine.
Yeah.
But
the judge said it was fine at Lee Park, and then all of a sudden the cops decided it wasn't. So I don't know what happened. Like revoking the permit and everything. That's a big mess. I don't know how that went down. But
yeah, the state of Virginia is what failed so many people. Like it didn't. I'm not saying oh no because it failed Nazis. Like the legitimate people holding Nazi flags and all that crap. I don't care if something fails them, but.
Sure, Alexander, I will give you a shout out in the chat to the whole 3 people that are watching. I believe Alexander was one of the people that also was talking about some of the issues. But Alexander is a new subscriber apparently. I don't know. He's only got 2 on his channel, but post some videos. We should all post videos. I don't know. This is my side channel though, so I have like 3 subs on it.
You have 6 subs apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Growing.
Yeah, I just opened the streaming channel the other day because I'm like, well, I can't stream, but I can open a new channel, so you guys can't fucking stop me. Like, what's the point in giving a strike and saying you can't stream for 3 months if you can just go ahead and open another channel? Like, they don't have IP banning currently, so they will eventually, I'm sure. But that's what VPN is for. It's just like they just don't get how easy it is, to keep streaming and everything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I actually did talk about that whole. I was actually talking about the whole thing down at the Trump Tower there with Michael Moore and Mark Ruffalo. Basically, it was I went through a 55-minute video and cut it down to like 20 minutes. So. What's funny about it is Mark Ruffalo's chanting like, "This is for all the LGBT people," but then right after that he goes, "And this is for the trans people." And then like some other girl, I don't know who she was, an activist of some kind, stood up and said like, "There is no wrong on both sides." That's what she said. I'm like, really? Apparently the left is always innocent. And they're just like, oh, no racist KKK, all that bullshit, right? And it was okay, so it was Michael Moore, Mark Ruffalo, and they had Olivia Wilde.
Yeah, I saw her too.
And Olivia Wilde, when she got up there, was just quoting the usual SJW rhetoric, like, oh, doesn't care about Muslim people, blah, blah, blah. But the funny part was when Mark Ruffalo starts going, they start chanting, "Say her name, Heather Heyer," right? And I'm like, because they mentioned the press conference, and I'm like, Trump did say her name at the press conference, you moron.
Oh, he said all kind, like the people that are saying that Trump's not doing this, like literally he's like disavowed almost every individual group at this point. He's disavowed the KKK specifically, the alt-right specifically, the neo-Nazis specifically. And they're like, he refuses to disavow the racists.
And he did disavow Antifa too. He didn't know what their name was though, but he described them.
as alt left.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's got them all upset. Oh man, it's great.
Yeah, oh, man, I remember he was like, there were a couple of neo-Nazis there, but most of the people on the were at the Unite the Right thing were good people. There were just a few bad eggs, and then on the other side, it was the same way. But then you have those people that dress in all black with your red flag and stuff that go and beat up people. They're shit.
Well, the funny thing is maybe like 100 people were violent. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I don't know, there could have been more, but it didn't look like most of the people marching at these protests are usually peaceful. You know, you'll watch
never peaceful though.
No, but you'll watch these live streams and the people will be marching normally, right, during the day. Throughout the day, they'll be marching quietly, doing their thing, whatever. I don't care. Even if they're wrong, they're still allowed to march. Yeah. Right? They're being quiet and everything. But then at night, you'll see guys in black start to move through the crowd. Right? And then all of a sudden, they start shit, and then it gets everyone else going, and then that's just what they do, you know? Like beating people with bike locks and shit, you know?
You really got to think that those people are paid off by somebody to go out there, because somebody has to pay for them being bussed in from all over the country.
Yeah, that's Soros.
George Soros.
I don't know about Soros. I think that's a little bit hokey, but
no, it's not. It's not. Honestly, there's been proof of it. The company that he owns has posted stuff on Craigslist looking for people to come out and earn some money.
Yeah.
Like it's actually been proven. Like there's actual footage of it. I don't know if all the time he's funding Antifa, but that's what happens when you get way too much money. You know. I think it might be a indirect funding. I think it might be a company that Soros owns is funding Antifa. You know. Something like that.
Regardless, like and they're not just being funded; they're also being protected in the way of like. Literally no mainstream media outlets are saying that they did anything wrong.
Yeah, and then you see the confusion. Yeah. People thought that those guys in military gear were the military or the police, and they fucking weren't.
Yeah.
It was private security for the neo-Nazi guys. And like Jason Kessler, did you see his private security detail? The outlaw biker gang or whatever?
I didn't see that.
Okay, so when Jason Kessler is speaking, I'll show you. Hang on. Yeah. Okay. Hang on.
No, Jason Kessler is on the right.
Yeah, Jason Kessler is the guy that organized the whole. The Warlock motorcycle gang. Pardon me. Right. Okay, so I will show you the picture. Okay, I've got Kessler, who's the organizer. Like he's relatively harmless, I suppose. He's still a dickhead though. He was collecting signatures a year ago or a year or two ago. He was collecting signatures to get that stupid statue removed, or keep the statue, I should say. And because he was trying to get rid of the vice mayor because he was the one trying to get the statue taken out, right? So he wanted to get rid of that guy so badly that he was collecting signatures, and some guy got in an argument with him, and he punched the guy in the face. So Kessler
punched the guy in the face, or the guy punched Kessler?
No, Kessler got charged and everything and admitted. He said, yeah, I know what I did was illegal, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
So these guys behind him are his private security. And they're from the Warlocks biker gang, which is supposed to be an all-white biker gang. But look how dark some of those guys are.
Some of those guys got a lot of tattoos.
That's why they're dark. That guy in red there, look how many tattoos he's got. Holy shit. His whole arm is black now.
Maybe that guy
the dude wearing the white shirt without a vest.
I don't think
he might be Mexican.
I don't think he's a biker though, because that biker gang only allows white guys. So.
Oh, he's white. Well, like when you look at his face and his facial structure, he's some kind of white. He might be mixed with something, but he also just might be like Italian or
I guess, but when you think about it, like that he's such a coward that he's got all this protection of these bikers, you know.
I'd be scared to death if I was going to go if I was going somewhere like not these kind of rallies. I would never be caught dead at a fascist, stupid neo-Nazi rally. But like there's regular Trump supporting rallies where everybody's got American flags, everyone's wearing a MAGA hat or something. If I went to one of those, I would be scared that like I might get jumped for leaving because they think I'm a Nazi. And if I was one of the organizers, I would have, at least 2 or 3 people.
Yeah. Warlocks Warlocks forever, forever warlocks. That's their slogan. But you look at these guys, like they're all with their arms crossed, trying to look tough. But I don't know if they're that tough or not. But these guys are pretty violent, though. The bikers, I mean. But I didn't see any of the bikers actually causing.
Wait! Stop for a second.
Yeah.
Go down a bit.
This part.
Okay, stop.
The charges.
Former National President John Ingrao was indicted by a federal grand jury, sentenced to 9 years.
Yep.
Transferring 21 machine guns and selling 84 homemade bombs to undercover ATF agents.
You missed the part about 525 pounds of pot.
I don't care about the pot, dude. He had machine guns and homemade bombs.
That's a lot of pot. I know. So these guys are pretty dangerous, but at the rally, I didn't see them really being violent. But if someone fucked with Kessler, they'd be all in there.
Oh yeah.
And you know what? I think it's really pathetic. I'm sorry, but Gavin and his Proud Boys. Come on, that's so gay. Proud Boys.
Gavin McKinnon.
Yeah. His little group is called the Proud Boys.
That does sound like something gay.
He's in there. Kessler's in there. I don't know if Spencer's in there or not, a bunch of people, but a bunch of white nationalists. But basically, this group claims that they are Western chauvinists.
Oh, what, the Proud Boys?
Yeah. Yeah.
Proud Boys are weird. They're literally right on the border of being just, pretty far right and being actually the same thing as the neo-Nazis and the alt-right. They're right on the border.
And that's the thing where they're like, well, we're only Western chauvinists. It's like, no, you're not. You're more than that.
Some of them definitely are.
Yeah.
No,
I get that.
It used to be when I was growing up, is you knew who a neo-Nazi was because they would they'd wear the swastika. You knew who they were because they were very vocal about it. But nowadays, everybody's afraid to talk, so you really don't even know.
Okay, here's the picture from their Proud Boys Canada Facebook page, right? Okay, so here's what they say. First off, the Trump thing is hilarious. Look how fat that guy looks. Anyway, we are Western chauvinists who refuse to apologize for creating the modern world. We glorify the entrepreneur. We venerate the housewife. We cherish free speech, and we love our guns. That's the best part. We love our guns. Even though you're not even allowed to carry guns for self-defense in Canada.
Heck, you're not allowed to carry a butter knife for self-defense in the UK. And they're the ones that essentially made Western civilization. So
interesting, though, the article on Proud Boys, right, actually says clusterfuck extravaganza unite the right was embarrassing for everybody. What? Anti-fuck crust punks join the Proud Boys. What? Yeah. Opinion: craven liberals are secretly thrilled at the death of Heather Heyer. Are they? These Proud Boys, I don't know. They just seem like dickheads.
Yeah, they're weird because they're not directly as racist as obviously the alt-right is, because they're just like, no, we're everything the alt-right is minus the racism.
This is funny.
They got some weird.
I know, but I gotta read this article that they have. It's so funny. Okay. This is just so stupid. Okay, this is a picture of these Antifa kids. Look how dirty they are. But then it says, 4 New York City Antifa members defected yesterday to join the Proud Boys. We're not wearing the Fred Perry polos, though. Once a scum fuck, always a scum fuck. Yeah.
Okay.
He did, however, confirm their intention to incorporate the yelling of serial names into their nightly sidewalk brawls. What?
Like Captain Crunch?
Yeah.
Imagine funny if they did that shit. Captain Crunch, Lucky Charms.
If people start punching people, screaming that, Frost in many ways.
Yeah.
Applejacks, motherfucker.
No, what you gotta do is you gotta call out like the whitest of white cereals, and start punching people.
Yeah.
Raisin Bran.
Total.
Regular Cheerios.
They're trying to say they're trying to say that the Proud Boys had nothing to do with that, blah blah blah. But it's like, so the Proud Boys apparently disavowed the Unite the Right rally, which is good, I guess. But they were still there during the protest. Like,
I think fucking Gavin McInnes is just like a loudmouth fucking moron.
Yeah, and I know he's not Canadian anymore, but it's
I'm just saying he kind of reminds me of how Crowder reminds me now. I liked Crowder before and I liked Gavin before, but now they just seem like they just put on this face and they try to act like they're these big badass motherfuckers, and it's just like, ooh, it's just you don't. It's like just. They try to act so damn edgy, and it's just really cringe at this point.
I feel like they're trying to get the broadest audience possible by trying to appease as many people in every direction as they can, while still saying, "But we're on the right side."
Yeah.
Well, that's what fucked up the whole skeptic community at this point with the left side, which I guess you could really say like the left version of what Gavin McInnes is and all that. You know, like they kind of do the same sort of thing as Gavin does. But with the left spin, like Sargon and all them, they got that fucking centrist bullshit going on. Like, I don't have an opinion on anything, but yet you need to watch me and payment to my Patreon.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like centrist. Who the fuck is centrist? Means you just don't read the news, apparently.
Apparently, yeah.
Well, you have an opinion on it.
Well, the funny thing is that as much as I dislike the Proud Boys because they seem like dicks, they are completely coming out against the whole Charlottesville thing and saying it was horrible and what they did was stupid and it made us all look bad, you know, especially the left with the Antifa guys. And it's just like, yeah, you know. So here's what the Proud Boys say. The Proud Boys apparently don't identify with left or right, so I don't know what they are at this point. The left are whining, insecure brats who value feelings over facts, and the alt-right are exactly the same thing, except they also let the left define who they are. So the left says, Trump is Hitler, and then the right says, maybe Hitler had some good ideas. The left says Black Lives Matter, the right says White Lives Matter. The left says racist, and the right says, what's wrong with putting your own race first? You're KKK. Oh, no, the KKK are just Southern people. Oh, Southern Pride, sorry. Yeah, so just like, they're kind of right where the left listens to what the right says about them and the right listens to the left, blah, blah, blah. So,
yeah. See, I would just troll them. I would just say, you know, Hitler wasn't really a fascist.
Yeah.
It wasn't real fascism. Sorry, it doesn't count.
Yeah. But it does seem really ridiculous, the whole Proud Boys. I don't get it. I don't know what they're proud of exactly, but
it is kind of crazy how Razorfist, when he looked at Antifa, said that basically Antifa's copying what Mussolini's early people did.
Yep. Well, but like I said earlier, though, like the American Antifa have nothing on the European guys because they were like those guys are actually like I wouldn't be as scared of the Antifa in the West. I would be sort of at one of those events probably, but then like if I was in Europe and saw all those 10,000 guys in black coming at me, you know, like I don't agree with what Lauren Southern is doing now or any of those other identitarian people. But what happened over there was pretty disgusting, you know, her being attacked and everything. And it did take a lot of bravery to go over there and say, fuck you. And then the whole time they were looking for her, she's just taunting them on Facebook and Twitter and shit. Like these guys were trying to attack her. And the whole day she's just taunting them. Haha, you can't find me, you know. And it's just really funny. But how Lauren Southern all of a sudden wasn't into identity politics and stuff, and then all of a sudden she's like, I'm an identitarian because she's fucking one.
Yeah.
My thing with Lauren Southern is go ahead.
Okay, I gotta ask this because I just have to find out. Has anybody read the Salon article about the DNC Russian hack they put out recently?
Recently.
I don't think so.
Okay, so apparently in this article, and it's actually by a freelance journalist from Ireland.
Wow.
So apparently the DNC might not have been hacked, and it was actually an insider job.
I think I saw like a list of how many ways the DNC has fucked itself in like the last year on Twitter at some point. And it's just like so long of how many things they've just done so stupid to fuck themselves.
Yeah. And the funny thing was, in the article, the journalist says, and the media just went along with it. Like, and there was no evidence, but the media went along with it.
Okay, so there's an email a report that a Trump lawyer sent. He said, there's literally no difference. Hold on. There's literally no difference between the two men. You cannot be against General Lee and be for General Washington. That's what they're saying now.
Well, Trump did say, I mean, all right, so you want to take the General Lee down, then you want to take down Stonewall Jackson's statue in Durham, or whichever one was in the other. I think it was Stonewall Jackson in Durham they pulled down. And it's like, what's next? George Washington? He owned slaves. You want to take down Thomas Jefferson? What about, he just started naming different people that they never even thought of. Watch like the Washington Monument fall down in a couple days because of Antifa.
Well, here's what President Trump's lawyer forwarded to some journalists and government officials and stuff. It says, Lee is no different than Washington. Both owned slaves. Both rebelled against the ruling government. Both men's battle tactics are still taught at West Point. Both saved America. Both were great men, great Americans, and great commanders. Neither man is any different than Napoleon, Shaka Zulu, Alexander the Great, Ramses II.
Ramses?
Really? Except for maybe the color of their skin, but American.
Someone's been playing Civilization too much.
Yeah, but American military is a lot different than, say, the French or Africa, or freaking definitely way different than freaking Egyptian politics. A pharaoh? No, that's way different. Like being a pharaoh is way different than being a president.
Yeah, you get to say we was Kangs and shit.
And then he got mad because the Times got a hold of that email, and he's like, "You're sticking your nose in my shit." He wanted to get that to Trump. Apparently, he's warning about some sort of terrorist infiltration in Black Lives Matter or something. And it's like,
apparently somebody's worried about terrorists infiltrating Black Lives Matter.
I know, right? That's what Black Lives Matter is.
Yeah, I thought that's what comprised it to begin with. Infiltrated it.
Yeah, I know. It's so dumb. And they're everywhere now, and it's just stupid. And I like the fake news about this. I love the fake news about the Roosevelt statue because everybody's freaking out about it, right? And they're buying it. All these people on Twitter are like, that Roosevelt statue thing, this such and such is happening on the exact same day where the Roosevelt statue is coming down. And it's like, nope, sorry, 2 years ago. Yeah, so now everybody's just talking about it.
We got to start a campaign that will tear down statues of anybody who thought homosexuals should not get married. Yeah. And then when we pass it, the first statue we tear down is MLK's.
Yeah.
He didn't think people should get married. And we do it publicly and say, oh, well, you voted for it.
Yeah, that would be funny as shit. We actually need to get that to happen. The butthurt on CNN would never end.
Oh, yeah. I want to do that, get the petition going, and then do the interview on CNN and be like, oh, yeah, once this petition is okay and the government is fine with it, we'll go and start with Martin Luther King first. Like, I would do that live on air.
If someone posts that on poll, I'm sure that they would probably pull that shit. Yeah. They would probably love something like that.
Yeah, and because, hey, we're doing it with everybody, so.
Yep.
If you really think about it, 4chan's the ones that got the new Mountain Dew flavor name to they had the competition with the Mountain Dew flavor, and they got the name to turn out Hitler did nothing wrong.
To be fair, though,
Mountain Dew was like, no, we're not going to do that.
To be fair, though, that friggin' Roosevelt statue seems a little bit racist, but it's a statue, so I don't fucking care. But the statue's funny because it's Roosevelt on a horse, and there's a Native American beside him in the full headdress and everything.
Wow.
But meanwhile, most of those guys came over and conquered the Indians. They weren't friends with them. But yeah, I'm surprised. Apparently, back 2 years ago when they did it, they did a tour of the friggin' museum where they said, oh, let's look at all these different exhibits that are problematic and racist and everything. So we're going to look at all these exhibits. And we're going to tell you which ones are racist and everything else. And it's like, they have a Not anymore, I don't think, but they had a Hall of Islam or something, where it's just like all dedicated to the Islamic culture and everything.
They may
but
still
they do
have that. I'm not sure.
They have halls of different cultures. Like I looked at their active things, and they don't even have that anymore. So
you go into the Hall of Islam, and it just blows up.
Yeah. I don't think they have it anymore, but they do have other different cultures and stuff, and it's kind of interesting. But at the same time, it's like, I'm surprised they're not complaining about the dinosaurs. They're like, oh, take those down too.
Dude, if I could go through there and like during the tour, during the Hall of Islam, if the hand, and I'd be like, what about the Islamic slave trade?
What about Sacagawea? You're not complaining about her? And in my video, that's what I'm going to complain about. I'm going to be like, Sacagawea, look how racist this is in the Night at the Museum movie. Oh, and the worst part about Night at the Museum was the Attila the Hun part. I actually love that part of that movie, though. Where the Easter Island statue is like, look out, dum-dum, you better run, here comes the Hun.
Oh, yeah.
That whole thing was kind of funny. But, like, yeah, I'm surprised that SJW, they probably will start to complain about that. The whole Confederate thing in that movie.
I've already seen little tiny articles from, like, kind of the fringe leftist news article places where, like, not quite like Salon and Vox yet, but getting there, where they're like, movies from the 90s are problematic. Don't rewatch them.
Give me a break.
And they're talking about classic movies now, too.
Yeah, like they're talking about like, don't watch this movie, or like, don't watch movies from these actors from like, like the 60s and 50s and stuff, because they were sexist and transphobic. And it's like, oh, duh, it was the 50s.
Definitely don't. As long as they don't go after Rush Hour, I'll be okay.
Oh my goodness, I almost want to just suggest to like anonymous message to like Vox and be like, why is Rush Hour, or did you know Rush Hour is the most mansplaining, sexist, racist movie ever made? And then just watch them just dig into it.
Yeah.
What we need to do is go to some theater we know Antifa likes to actually watch movies at, and like switch out the film for whatever they're watching, some stupid whatever shit they watch, and put on Blazing Saddles and then just leave.
Speaking of movies,
you mean like
does anybody watch the YouTube channel CinemaSins?
Yes.
The Skull Kong Island director fucking spurged out on Twitter yesterday because they fucking roasted his video.
Oh, yeah. All I can think of when you said that about changing the film, I just thought of Inglourious Bastards when they go in there and change it.
No, Antifa would love that shit.
No, when they were watching that Nazi film, remember they changed it, and it was that big fire thing or something. Then all of a sudden the theater's on fire and shit. It was fucking awesome.
So you're saying burn down the Antifa theaters? Okay.
No, that's not what I was saying.
I will be on the move.
they would do that themselves,
Oh, they probably would. I want to put it past them. Oh, I saw yesterday. Somebody posted about how the communists in Spain were digging up nuns, like the remains of nuns, and placing them in like fake churches. And today there was an article where they were trying to dig up the graves of Confederate soldiers. Nice. The Antifa was.
Well, no, that's an old post too, by the way. That's old.
That's old?
Yep. I'll look it up for you. I'll give you the exact article to prove that. Yeah, I will show you the article that proves it.
The one thing I got about digging up the graves of Confederate soldiers, there were some African Americans that served with the Confederacy.
Yep.
Are you going to dig their graves up too?
So this here, right? This was the image you saw, correct?
Hold on.
That was the image, right?
I think so. Maybe.
How in the fuck is that not how are they not arrested for doing shit like that?
No,
yeah, that's the one I saw, the second one. Yeah.
Okay, but look at the date.
2015.
15? Okay.
3 years ago, yeah. So it's another fake news story, just like the Roosevelt one, where they're trying to put this narrative, and it's like, and the thing is they didn't actually dig up the body. He dug up one piece of grass to symbolically say that he's pissed about it. All
right. I didn't look into it. I just saw it. I just remembered it when we were talking about the.
It said he shoveled a piece of earth off the grave, saying that they're unhappy with the lack of progress to remove the statue. So this statue thing, has always been going on. It's just now it's new. Now it's like more out there because of what happened in Charlottesville, you know. And now like cities across the country are now removing their statues because they don't want bullshit like that happening.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
You know?
Like these statues have been around anywhere from 80 years to 150 years. Some of these statues have been there, and they're not hurting anybody. Not really.
Yeah, but
I mean, I'm okay with the statue being in Seattle if they really want it there. I personally think it's disgusting, but I'm going to leave it. I don't care.
How long before Lincoln's head gets? I wonder how long before Lincoln's head gets knocked off. Because they already spray painted something like "fuck law" or something like that. They said on the actual Lincoln Monument. So.
Oh, thank you, Wild Smile. I love you forever for finding that. He found it on Craigslist where it says right here, "Stop Trump up to $1,500 a week, hiring immediately. Call today, start tomorrow. $15. What does that say? I can't see because I'm far away from the screen, but 15 to 18 hourly rate. If you want, I can just give you the link, or I can screen share or something so you can just read it with me.
Yeah, you can share. You can share it. It's fine.
All right, if I can even get it to pull up, but I think you can see that.
I love his videos.
Anyway, it says right here, overtime up to 77 hours per week. Drivers earn gas reimbursements, morning and evening shifts. No previous experience required. Full-time or part-time positions, weekend positions available. Shit, I might jump on that and fucking defect to shit.
Okay, read me that number for a second. 267.
That's 267-606-5147.
Let's see if I can come up with anything for it.
Dude, I might call them up and just start fucking talking shit.
I would say, all right, sign me up, and then just like continuously write articles for him. That's just like Trump's mean. I think because
that's the Philadelphia area code.
Yeah, it's a Verizon number in Levittown, Philadelphia. Let's see. Ask for a business owner and claim to be. He said he called it and asked for the business owner, and they claim to be Google Maps listing department.
Really?
They're not, obviously. It's apparently.
Dude, that would make such a good video if I fucking call them up and record that shit.
No, apparently when you call
I'm so gonna fucking do that now.
When you call it, it says like, hold on. No.
I'm so gonna fucking call it.
I can't call American area codes on my phone. It'll probably. But it says, thank you. Apparently, this was last year.
Okay.
A year and a half ago, they said, they called it. It's a male voice that says, thank you for calling COG hotline. Please leave a message. Or COD hotline or something. But other people said that they get some college-age Indian guy, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to be like, oh, so you want us to get rid of the Trump, yeah? And they're like, yeah, we want to get rid of Trump. Votes for Hitler. We need your votes.
Apparently, they claim it links to COG, which is a part of Planned Parenthood. That would be interesting.
That would be interesting.
But yeah, a lot of people are saying that, yeah, it was on the funding of Antifa thing. But let's see.
Just call him up and just say, I want to talk to George Soros.
Yeah.
I know he's there.
I heard y'all like to suck dick.
Well, what's funny is that one that you're showing was listed in Las Vegas. And it's listed as Community Outreach Group LLC, which is a nonpartisan political organization funded by Planned Parenthood. Yeah. So Soros is funding. Imagine that if Soros was. So if Soros is funding the Antifa and he's doing it through another organization, it's an organization that is funded by Planned Parenthood. So Soros is funding Planned Parenthood. What? What? Like,
I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure he is separately.
Like there's another one in New York that says
chain.
You could get a job making lattes, or you could work with the fund, fighting to change on issues like saving the bees or getting big money out of politics. Saving the bees. And this one is Fund for the Public Interest, which is a nonprofit organization that runs public fundraiser and canvassing for political organizations.
You know, if my face wasn't known on the internet, I would actually jump on this and fucking just go in there and be a spy. But but if you literally Googled my original channel name, you would pull up my face in like 2 seconds because I used to always be on camera.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll be too easy to spot.
I don't know what the COG thing is in Philadelphia, but it's just really weird, the whole Antifa thing. But yeah, these numbers are real. They do exist, and they've been posted everywhere. So, and
yeah, they started coming out around the time of the Charleston, South Carolina riots, I believe.
Like, I don't know how we can prove that was Soros or not. I don't know if it was. But still, like, $18 an hour, that would be pretty good. No previous experience is necessary. No fundraising. No, you just got to beat people. That's all. But yeah, they're trying to say, oh yeah, we're just lobbyists for political organizations. Bullshit. You're so full of crap. It's like Soros isn't for either political party. I don't think he's closer to Hillary than Trump, but still.
Yeah.
And that's what's funny is nobody fucking is even mentioning that, of course, right? So.
Well, isn't there some rumor that George Soros made a lot of money during? He's Hungarian and he immigrated post World War II. Like he made a bunch of money by taking it from like dead Jews or some shit like that.
Well, I don't know if you heard about. I forget which bank. I can't. Oh, hey, I can't remember which bank it was, but there was a specific bank that was like. It was
yeah. It was like during the Holocaust, and like he was making money off of something, and then he immigrated to the U.S. like a lot of money. I don't know exactly the particulars of it.
No, he lied or something and said the war was still going on when it wasn't, and then he invested in something, then he made a ton of money.
What is up, Drama Alert Nation?
No.
What are you fucking faggots doing?
Nothing, just looking at shit.
Right now
I'm counting all the gold coins on my videos.
What are we talking about?
Right now, we're talking about Soros and all those Craigslist ads.
Soros and all the Craigslist ads. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, and then one of the Craigslist ads where they were
talking about the protesters that were fake.
Yeah, but there's one ad that was saying call this number to join the protest, and it's a non-profit organization that's actually funded by Planned Parenthood. So that's weird.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. That's a very interesting thing.
No, so we're thinking, it's like, does that mean that George Soros is funding Planned Parenthood?
Oh, probably. He's funding anything that's against conservatism.
Yeah, so he called 1944 the best year of his life, apparently.
1944 is the best year of his life. Wasn't he like a fucking fighter pilot or some bullshit? This man's like 8,000 years old. Of course, 1944 was his best year. He was in his prime.
Here's the interview. Someone said, my understanding is that you went out with this protector of yours who swore that you were his adopted grandson. He goes, yes. Went out, in fact, and helped in the confiscation of property from your fellow Jews, friends, and neighbors. Yes, that's right. I mean, that sounds like an experience that would send lots of people to the psychiatric couch for many, many years. Was it difficult? No, not at all. I rather enjoyed it. Oh, do you have feelings of guilt? No, just feelings of absolute power. So yeah, so all that stuff that he took from people and all the property, he made a shit ton of money off it. So yeah, it's just pretty insane. That he's just, I don't know, he's just an old guy with way too much fucking money, you know what I mean?
Yeah, way too much.
It's so funny that you can be from an anti-Semitic Jewish family. That's like, what? His mother was a Jew, but she was ashamed of it, apparently.
Well, that's because there's two forms of Judaism. There's the religious form and there's the ethnic form of it. And so because it's used interchangeably, mostly for confusion, I feel like at this point, like if somebody is ethnically Jewish, I pretty much just say they're an Israelite.
Yeah. Because
that's their native land. They they're Jews, but that's because they were 100% religious when they were those people. But now it's two different things, and a lot of people that were Jewish were just like, oh yeah, you know, my great grandfather came from Israel at some time. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a ton of people made money off that, including the Nazis. Like the Nazis were obsessed with all these symbols and everything that they collected. You know, anything to do with Jesus, and Hitler was all for it. Like he was obsessed with finding the Spear of Destiny. So there are rumors that he had it. I don't know if he did or not, but
well, apparently, from what I remember, something to do with Hitler was Catholic. Nothing against Catholics, but I'm saying Hitler was a Catholic. Apparently,
yes and no. So
I never figured out that part of
okay. So a lot of the
religion at all. So
a lot of his people in the military and stuff, they show them going to services on Sundays, but he sort of he didn't really like the church itself, but he did believe in God and everything else. Like the whole thing with him being Catholic was interesting because he's a Catholic, but he hates Catholicism at the same time.
Yeah, I researched it a little bit. He was raised Catholic, obviously, and he admired the power of the Catholic Church in his adulthood, but he disliked the way the church was organized, and he honestly disliked the way Christianity was. He thought Christianity was too weak and not strong.
Yeah,
there's no way to keep a country going. So he was like, well, Christianity as it is stupid, so I'm going to create fascist Christianity, essentially. And he replaced like several hundred priests with people that are loyal to his party instead of all that. So
yeah, he said that he believed in positive Christianity, which they rejected traditional Christian doctrine like divinity of Jesus and the Old Testament, and said that he believed in an active God in Christianity, but that Jesus was a Aryan fighter who stood against Jews.
Yeah, he was about as Christian as like the most ridiculous Mormons are Christian, where they have extra books and they say half the books that are actually there are not true, and believe that when men die, they can pull women up to heaven by their underwear, and that Jesus spoke to the Native Americans with gold tablets that can only be read by one man living at a time, that kind of crap.
So he thought that there's going to be some sort of collapse of Christianity because of science, and then Nazism and religion can't exist together.
Yeah.
You know, and that was basically it. That and with the Catholic, he allowed them to persecute. He allowed them to persecute the Catholic Church too. He didn't really even care. You know.
Yeah, in his adulthood, he was very, very not religious at all. Like, if he did or didn't believe in God is not even really relevant because Christians meant nothing to him.
Yeah, and like this whole this whole blood and soil thing, right?
Lebensraum?
Yeah, but it's not, and I'm just saying it's not outright racist per se. You know, like there were other.
It's just a term that was used by the Nazis.
There were other nations that used it though.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was just saying. What it's tied to is Nazism, though.
Yeah, I know.
It's just like the swastika. Swastika you can never use again because it's tied to the Nazis. You can't ever have a Hitler mustache because it's tied to fucking Hitler.
Yeah.
It's not known as the Charlie Chaplin. It's known as the fucking Hitler.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that wasn't real fascism.
Well, but that's why Charlie Chaplin did it, to make fun of Hitler. That was the point.
But last thing I heard was anti-Semitic Jewish families. Can I talk about how antithetical that is?
Basically, it was the fact that his mom was a Jew, but she was ashamed of it.
That's disgusting.
I don't know if it's ethnically Jewish or the religion Jewish. I assume ethnically.
Cher, come on. Do you see how many white people in this country are just ashamed to be white?
Yeah, we have.
We're the enemy now. We're the enemy. That's what it is.
Excuse you, sir. I'm a Jew. Excuse you.
You're still white.
Excuse Jew. Excuse Jew.
You're
are you a light-skinned Jew? Because that makes you privileged.
No. I'm a dirty Mexican Jew.
Well, then you have
I'm Mexican, black, Jewish, and I have a chopped off cock.
Best tweet of the year, okay? Black people who were never slaves are fighting white people who were never Nazis over a Confederate statue erected by Democrats because Democrats can't stand their own history anymore, and somehow it's Trump's fault? Interesting.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's true. That's so true. Like, what the fuck? Like, I was just having a discussion about this with people the other day, and some motherfucker tried to tell me, like, on the fucking on Twitter, is like, were erected to make black people afraid. It's like, how that? They had already won their fucking freedom for one. Jim Crow wasn't in.
Yeah.
For two, and then for.
You're kind of coming in
now.
now.
Fucking Democrats.
Yeah, he's on his phone. He's on his phone, I think.
Jim Crow was
Last thing you
one
heard.
of the characters in the movie Dumbo.
What was the last thing you heard?
Pretty much for one.
Okay, so for one, I don't know how black people would be afraid of statues, especially after they won their freedom. That's for one. For two, how the fuck is a statue going to scare somebody? For three, Jim Crow laws weren't enacted until 20 years after the South lost the war. And for four,
yep.
What was the fourth one? Shit. Oh, it was erected by Democrats. So, I mean, I don't understand how taking down a Democratic monument is going to change anything about the Democratic Party itself. But no one knows their history, and that's why they're tearing down history to hide the past.
Most of the time, these statues just sit there. They don't have people like sitting at the statue, worshiping and lighting candles and everything else and praying to it or anything.
Yeah, they just kind of chill and then say, "Oh yeah, that's right. We fought a whole war over slavery. I almost forgot." And, those statues are gone for 20 years. With the way that teachers teach and how stupid freaking kids are, they're not even going to know. They're going to think that there was slavery, and then all of a sudden there wasn't, like, last year.
Well, watch how many people, when I release my video about the Roosevelt thing, watch how many people...
Can you guys explain to me how tearing down a statue that's been up for over 100 years is going to change anything now?
It's not.
It's going to make people feel better.
No, it's going
to make them feel better about what?
No, they're going to get these things torn down, and then they're going to say, "Well, what can we put there instead?"
And then they're going to put up like a giant statue, like Rosa Parks or something like that.
They're going to put up Caitlyn Jenner statues.
Oh God can only not even God could save us. Then let's be honest.
Just a statue of Rosa Parks driving the bus. Yeah.
Jesus.
No. A statue of Rosa Parks on top of the bus with a baseball bat through the windshield.
Well, did you hear that? Because apparently Joan of Arc was used as a symbol for some of these guys in Europe or whatever, that now they're wanting to tear that down too.
Yeah, let's tear down one of the first major feminists in the world. Let's tear down the statue to her. That's progressive.
It's because it was used by a lot of...
Is it the $10 bill or the $20 bill that they're changing?
20.
Oh, God.
It's a 20. So they're taking off Andrew Jackson, who was literally a racist, who pushed out Native Americans from Eastern USA.
Yeah.
And now replacing him with Harriet Tubman, who they think is some liberal icon for them, but the joke's on them because she's actually a gun-toting Republican who saved lots of slaves. So joke's on them. That makes us look better.
Yeah, she was a whole part of the. She helped with the Underground Railroad shit, didn't she?
Yeah, which was mostly white, by the way. I don't know if you guys knew that.
I know. And in Canada.
And in Canada as well.
Well, I'm still sad. Andrew Jackson was cool. Minus the genocide-y kind of things that he did. Other than that, he was cool.
Well, because going across the border was the easiest way to hide them. Because
I was about to say Andrew Jackson was cool except for the genocide part.
Everyone still celebrates Columbus,
Columbus didn't really do anything, though. Columbus didn't actively send people east of the fucking Appalachians. West of the Appalachians.
Slaughtered thousands.
No, Columbus did not slaughter thousands.
Yes, he did.
That was Hernan Cortez.
He didn't personally do it. He had his friends do it.
That doesn't. Okay, no, that's not true.
Columbus resulted in people dying a lot, but he was not necessarily the one directing.
That's like saying World War II ended up killing millions of people because the Cold War happened after it.
Yeah.
That's you can't say that one thing caused X amount of deaths. That's
okay. Fine.
Unless him and his troops went through and killed thousands of people, then yeah, you would be right. But
even the Cortez part, that's not even mentioned in the history books, is it? Is that
we talk about Hernan Cortez all the time and how he and 514 troops, they burned their ships and then decided to take over the.
Yeah. But I mean, in school,
what is Tenochtitlan?
Oh, in school they don't teach anything.
Okay.
At all.
Because what's funny, in our class, geography and stuff, Canadian geography, they teach us about all those states and everything, right? But in American geography, you don't learn about the provinces. Fuck that.
No, because America's too big to learn about all those other states or all those other. Well, they're going to be states soon. Let's be honest.
Come on, there's only 12 provinces.
I mean, yeah, we don't learn about Canada because what is there to learn about Canada? They got some syrup, some French people live there. Done.
Poutine,
Pretty much.
Poutine's good. I love poutine. I went up to Canada. Fuck, poutine's good. God.
Well, you went to the nicer part of Canada, so.
Yeah. The funny thing about
Banff.
statues,
I know Alberta's nice.
People want to tear the statues down that people supposedly on the right side of the political spectrum like. So play this game. All you're on the right is go to statues and say you like them, and they'll tear them down.
Yeah.
I like the Statue of Liberty.
No. Think about
the poem.
No, think about it. All the right-wing guys. Think about this. All the right-wing guys go to Seattle and start venerating the statue of Lenin, putting like a "Make America Great" hat on him and all that stuff. How quick do you think people might say we got to tear this down?
Ooh, Wildsmith found another one.
For one, they wouldn't tear it down at all. They would just put it into a museum and hide it.
I'm going to go and find some sort of statue in my hometown, and I'm going to go and sit there and hold the sign and see what people say to me.
Hey, Wildsmith found another one of those Antifa things on Craigslist.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they're offering only $12.50 an hour, though.
Yeah. Well, I don't think there's any. I don't know if there's
not enough
any
to get my ass whooped. I'm sorry.
Like, I don't know if there's any recent ones. I know back when it was what's it called? That last big thing we had.
So I don't know if you guys heard this, but Kentucky's mayor, or the mayor of Lexington, which is the second largest city in Kentucky, said he was going to start destroying statues, and the two that he is wanting to destroy, the first of which is by a guy named Jim Hunt Morgan.
Okay.
Now, General Morgan was a Confederate, but he was also an American general, and this is not widely known. He is one of the only generals that led a cavalry charge down the entirety of America almost. It was I think he charged from, it was Ohio down all the way to Tennessee. Nice. He spanned almost the entirety of the country, and got stopped at a place called, what was it called? Somewhere in Tennessee, Spartansburg, Sparta. That's what it was. Nice. So he's the namesake of my unit's brigade headquarters or battalion headquarters, the 623rd. They are called Morgan's Men, and Morgan's Men is a throwback to James Hunt Morgan.
Nice.
So he's trying to basically destroy a monument that means so much to Southern Kentucky, especially. Yeah. And this is the funny part, because it's coming from one of the only two liberal cities we have in the entire state, and it comes from a guy who is running for Republican senator, Democratic senator, not but 2 years ago now.
Apparently, the General Lee's ancestors are saying, you can go ahead and take the statues down. We won't be offended. That's what they're saying now. So
I don't think that statues of Lee necessarily should be taken down, and I think that because specifically him and Stonewall Jackson, those two in particular, shouldn't be. And the only reason I say that is because Robert E. Lee was probably the greatest general before 1900 that our country had ever.
Arguably, yes, I would agree.
He's in the top three top three before World War I that we've ever had. So
yeah, I can agree with that. He's definitely their top 3, top 5 guy.
Yeah, I mean, because how many was it? 20? It was almost 20 generals that went against him and then were demoted because they failed before they finally beat him.
It wasn't quite 20. It was 7 or 8, but yeah, it was quite a few. Oh. He got him and Stonewall Jackson single-handedly probably had 20, and then they met Ulysses S. Grant, who I would argue is probably top above Lee, just for the fact that he won the war, and then number 1's obviously Washington.
Yeah. Listen to this shit about CNN is listing off all the different groups and saying what each one means and whatever.
Oh my God! Did you see there was constitutionalists there protesting, and they're calling them alt-righters. They're calling them Nazis. The constitutionalists just follow the Constitution. That's why they're called constitutionalists.
Okay, so the Antifa isn't a group; it's an ideology that stands for anti-fascist. That's what the Poverty Law Center said. There are a group of people that lean toward
ideology that needs to be destroyed.
That lean toward the far left, but do not conform with the Democratic Party. They have to explain to you what a neo-Nazi is? Come on. Like all this stuff's ridiculous. Like, oh, let's see what they say about Black Lives Matter. Nothing. They don't even mention that they're a terrorist group. Oh my God. White Lives Matter is a loosely defined movement founded in 2015. There is no White Lives Matter movement. Come on.
Yeah, that would essentially be the exact same thing as the Nazis.
It's like Menonists.
Actually, there is a White Lives Matter movement. It's the thing the alt-right put together as a reaction to Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, I guess, but it's probably so tiny that it's not doing anything.
Yeah, it's probably just a few hundred people.
It doesn't matter how tiny it is, because the KKK was at 9,000 members as of last year. Now this year, I'm pretty sure they have almost 20,000 members now. And it doesn't matter how small your group is, because they still want to systematic.
I thought they said that the KKK was dying out. I thought the rumor was that the KKK was dying out.
Well, they were. They were until all the BLM stuff and all that kind of crap started happening, because it just got so ridiculous with like the anti-white propaganda that they were able to find and see and stuff, and like all the just racist crap. They just eventually decided that they were going to also play identity politics, and so they grew.
I think it's funny how Gavin is like, the Proud Boys didn't do anything with that protest, even though fucking Kessler is a member of the Proud Boys and he's the organizer of that whole march.
You know who I really like that I'm starting to get sick of when it comes to alt-right news? Shapiro has been hammering the alt-right so hard that he's now let his feelings get in the way of facts.
Nice.
Yeah,
he posted something. He posted something today that was something along the effect of, basically that this movement should be demolished and they shouldn't have their like freedoms and stuff. And some girls like, facts don't care about your feelings, Ben. And then everyone just started like fucking like hating on her, and it was like, why?
Yeah.
Why are we hating on her? She's 100% correct.
Well, you know who I can't stand is Baked Alaska. He drives me nuts.
He's blind now. Don't talk shit about him, man. He's a casualty.
Doesn't change his mind. Doesn't change what he believes in his head.
But he's probably more determined now.
His outlook, considering he apologized about the riots and stuff.
Is he 100% blind now, like forever or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Oh shit. That sucks.
Yep.
That explains why he has that other guy doing his YouTube streams and channel and stuff.
It just happened the other day.
I forgot what his name is. The guy with the mustache on. I can't remember his name.
Hitler Jr.
No, someone told me the guy's name. He had like the whole already haircut, and then he's got the mustache and the suspenders whole bit. He was there during the Charlottesville
thing. Ernst Rahm.
I think that's what his name is, yeah. And
Ernst Rahm. His name's Ernst Rahm.
I think so.
Do you know who Ernst Rahm is?
No.
He was the person who wrote Mein Kampf for Hitler.
Oh no. Not quite.
That was a sneaky little history joke I got in.
No, I don't think he's that. I don't think that guy's that much of a Nazi.
That much of a Nazi.
Let me go to his channel.
It's like people. I like. I don't know if you guys know what Terminal Lance is, but it's like a book. It's like a comic book series that's been written by this one guy called Maximilian. Fucking, I forgot what the fuck his last name is.
So that video where it says SPLC member assaults Baked Alaska, is that when he went blind?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think that is it. It was like acid in his face, I think.
Some kind of chemicals, yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, I mean, honestly, I think that assaulting somebody with extremist beliefs will only make them more extremist.
Yep.
You don't.
Yeah, I'm sorry for what happened to him, but at the same time, it's like, holy shit.
I mean, I can only feel so sorry for him because, I mean, I feel like despite, like, you take the racist nonsense aside, I feel like in person, if you were to talk to him, he would just be the most annoying, like, just disrespectful kind of douchebag that you would ever interact with. Like, even if he wasn't a complete racist.
Right. So kind of like Shank from TYT, but without the racism.
Get the fuck up the
No,
phone!
with extra racism.
Kinda. Actually, I feel like him and I can't remember the girl's name right now, but the lady that's always with Chink is whatever, the co-host lady.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. I feel like him, Baked Alaska, and her have the exact same personality. Just despicable.
Yeah, that's what most fucking. I don't know if you guys have met anybody from the news. That's what most of them are like. Every single one of them.
All I can say though is I hope that he's suing. You know.
Who the fuck is he gonna sue?
The person
sue an ideology?
Baked Alaska, the guy that hurt him.
Who is he gonna sue?
The guy who blinded him.
He didn't catch him.
It's on video.
Then he should sue the state of Virginia for allowing it to happen because it's the police's fault.
I just looked at it 2 seconds ago on his channel.
I'm sure he could. He could probably actually sue Antifa, BLM, or someone like that because BLM's a fucking group that actually has some backers now. NAACP could get in there, you know, sue all of this fucking piece of shit.
See, look, the thing's right here. You know.
Well, I don't think that's when he went blind. I think the guy just swung at him or something.
Okay. Yeah, this was a different one, but it's still like the same thing.
Oh God, there's radical lesbian feminists that are arguing that if you're a lesbian and we find a single dildo in your house, you're not a real lesbian.
What?
Hello, what? How? What? Huh?
Yeah, so this guy, they caught him. It's SPLC, and his name is Stephen Lemon, the guy who punched them. But the one about him...
Okay, good. So they caught that guy.
Yeah, here's the one. I found it. Holy shit. Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
It's so
So they threw acid in the guy's face. Like, what the fuck?
And people wonder why the alt-right hates certain groups of people.
Yeah, like imagine...
Like, not to sound racist or anything, but they act like fucking chimpanzees whenever somebody who's against them comes around. I saw a fucking person who was throwing up. He was not like a Nazi salute, just a regular hand salute up to his head with a Confederate uniform on. Hey, he had a Confederate flag and an AR-15. Wasn't doing anything to anybody, just standing in front of Robert E. Lee and throwing up a salute, being nice and not doing anything. Saying this is not what this stands for. It stands for my heritage, this, that, and the other. And just fucking 18 people comes out of the fucking woodworks and just goes, "What the fuck? This is fucking so. What the fuck is wrong with you? I hope you fucking die, you piece of shit!" And just fucking like throwing, like screaming like baboons and like throwing up his fucking like.
Yeah. There's thousands of black people that actually don't care about the Confederate flag at all and wear it because they're in the South and they understand that it means more than just this.
Millions.
Yeah.
Take it from a redneck. The whole thing with the Confederate flag is just the same reason that you wear any shirt that you wear from fucking Aeropostale or Ralph Lauren or whoever the fuck the major designers are now. I don't know. I don't pay attention. Well, just any logo that you like, it's just a logo. It's something that the Southern people like. It's a pretty logo that they put on their truck and shit because, you know, they're rednecks and proud.
It's got some goddamn history behind it too. That's like the worst part. It's fucking heritage. It's heritage.
Yeah.
Most fucking rednecks don't even know fucking history when it comes to what.
No, I know that. Well, they know about the Confederates though.
They know the Confederate side, but that's about it.
Yeah, they're like,
I've lived here all my life. I should know how dumb rednecks are.
All I have to say though is,
I know what you mean.
Fuck this Falarka bitch. Fuck her.
Who?
Falarka? Yeah. Yvette Falarka. I actually wrote to Rand Paul. I'm trying to get in contact with him and see if I can't get him on the podcast and start having him denounce Antifa and a few other groups. I was trying to contact him today.
She's that professor that was at one of the violent rallies with the.
No, she's the fucking was the fucking sub leader of BAM or whatever who got fucking fired for being a crazy cunt.
Yep. Yeah, from her professor job.
She dies in a fucking fire, to be quite honest.
And she wasn't at Charlottesville, but she was in, was it Atlanta or one of the other protests anyway?
Probably Seattle.
One of the others, Seattle. One of the others supporting. Oh, we stayed with Charlottesville. That's great, but you know, and what's stupid is like, you know, when freaking Hulk there went to Trump Tower and stuff, they actually paused. They actually go, "Oh, we're gonna have a candlelight vigil for Heather," and then he's like, "But we're also gonna tell Trump to get rid of all these people in his cabinet." But it's like they actually paused for like a photo op, and I'm like, "This is you're supposed to be having a candlelight vigil." First off, there was 2 of you holding candles.
Because it's just like what they do with the fucking military. It's just like what they do with fucking homeless people. They don't give a fuck about them. They virtue signal every fucking time they come around and say, "Why won't you think of X group?" It's like that fucking lady from Simpsons. Why won't somebody think of the children? Won't somebody think of the veterans? Won't somebody think of the homeless? And they don't even care about them.
Yep.
Because all of their practices cause more of that group to be suffering. Be it homeless people, homeless veterans of PTSD. And what do they do to react to this? What do groups like Google do? They go on to their YouTube sites and shit like that, and then they will defund. They'll demonetize every single video that has anything to do with PTSD awareness. They'll completely demonetize it, even if it's making money for the group, and they just don't care.
By the way, if anybody ever hears from Schmeckle, why the fuck he doesn't like me anymore? Because I never get an invite to his streams anymore. So if someone finds that out, just let me know. Because I have no clue.
He invited everybody last night.
Not me.
He sent a fucking DM to the group.
Well, that one? Let me see. No, that one was fine, but there's another stream that he did the other, like,
he doesn't invite everybody. He doesn't invite anybody anymore. He has, like, set guests.
I know, it wasn't last night or the night before. It was like the night before.
It's always
but he never sent me an invite. And then tonight he did send me an invite. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, it's like Schmeckle, Samaj, Raph, Thorn, Benihana, and like.
But that's not true because during the stream he's like, hey, you should invite this person. Why don't you invite this person in? And I'm like, I'm sitting here in the chat, assholes.
Oh, who knows?
Yeah. I don't know. It's just weird. Like because I didn't do anything. I don't know why. Like. I understand if Anon's on that I don't go on there because she doesn't like me very much. But besides that, I don't know. If I'm doing something wrong or annoying somebody, I want them to tell me so I can fix it.
Well, I gotta head out because it's fucking late and I gotta get up early for work. So
yeah, I gotta head out too, actually.
Yep, I might as well end it since it's been like an hour and a half. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, guys. All right.
See you later.
Thank you, everybody, for joining me. I'm glad that I'm streaming again. So, take care, everybody.